Pruning is one of the most important practices in the vineyard to create vine balance, the balance between vegetation and fruit production to achieve the grape yield, maturity, and quality desired. With too little vegetation, vines may not have the capacity to ripen the fruit, and with too much vegetation, the fruit can be shaded. The vine focuses on vegetative growth rather than fruit ripening, and again, the fruit can be perceived as underripe or dilute and green. Pruning also localizes the fruit into an area that will be easy to manipulate for sun exposure, disease control, and harvest. During winter, a vine has dormant buds located at the base of where every leaf had grown the prior season. These buds are potential growing points for the following season. If we do not prune, all of these buds will start to grow in the spring, and since there are so many of them, they will compete with one another and not grow vigorously. As a result, there will be lots of weak shoots and fruit everywhere. It will be hard to ripen the fruit, create uniform sun exposure, and control diseases. Conversely, if we prune too hard and leave too few buds, these positions will grow so vigorously that they will continue to grow and grow, often forgetting to focus on ripening the fruit. The goal of pruning is to leave the correct number of buds with proper placement to produce the right balance between shoot growth and fruit production. The most fruitful buds are located on one-year-old wood. Older wood tends not to be as productive. There are two main styles of pruning in Napa, both of which involve the selection and placement of buds of one-year-old wood to serve as growing points for the following season. One style is called spur pruning, where short spurs of one-year-old wood are left, usually spaced out along a cordon, a permanent horizontal extension of the trunk along a fruiting wire. The other is cane pruning, where a longer cane of one-year-old wood is trained annually from the head of the vine onto the fruiting wire. The goal with cane pruning is to leave the correct sized cane to support the following season's production. In most high-quality vineyard systems in Northern California, only one cane is selected and tied to the wire on each side of the head of the vine. In more production-focused systems, 3 or more total canes can be used. If more than one cane is tied from each side of the vine, it is suggested to have an additional fruiting wire for those canes. With cane pruning, the most important decision is the selection of the cane. The cane should originate near the head of the vine and should be about the thickness of your little finger. If the cane is too thick and the buds are spaced too far apart, there will not be enough growing points for the following season. If the cane is too spindly, then there will not be enough vigor for the following season. The length of the cane depends on the vine spacing and the vigor of the site. The cane should be healthy, straight, and of reasonable thickness to the last bud laid out on the wire. It is common to see canes from 5 to 10 buds or 1 to 2 feet long. Once the cane is selected, the remainder of the prior season's growth should be pruned or removed, and that cane should be tied to the fruiting wire. Cane pruning requires skilled labor for proper cane selection. In some cane pruning systems, a 2-bud renewal spur or spurs are left each year, and the cane is often selected from one of those 2 canes. The disadvantage here is that the shoots growing from the renewal spur can crowd the fruit near the head of the vine. In other cane pruning systems, there is no renewal spur, and the cane is selected from the base of the prior year's cane. In this system, care must be taken not to let the position where the cane originates from creep too high towards the fruiting wire. Occasionally, a cane that is grown from a buried bud around the head of the vine may be selected, and the position can be cut back. One main consideration during pruning is that pruning wounds are susceptible to fungal pathogens. To avoid infection, it is best to prune as late in the season as possible. A wound protectant or fungicide applied according to all applicable laws and regulations may be utilized.